Confessions of a Wellish Girly was created in order to show you guys that there is still chaos that goes on inside of my head, and that's what leads to all of this self improvement advice that I give you guys all of the time. But you know what? This week, we're going to switch it up a little bit because I think I actually feel pretty good. Saying I'm happy takes a lot, but like I genuinely feel that way. And I've felt like that the last like week or so, which is kind of crazy because like even saying it now, and when I first had this thought back on Monday, I was like, oh, well, don't get too comfortable. Anytime I sit here and say that I feel good and things are going well and I feel happy, that's literally right exactly when shit is about to hit the fan, which is genuinely so sad. When that thought first popped into my head on Monday, I did think of what I've said to you guys, to myself in the past, that emotions are just emotions. They come and they go, and that I need to be able to soak in that feeling of happiness because it's just another emotion and it's going to go away. So I want to like revel in it while it's happening before it passes again. But it's kind of funny because like when we're feeling the bad emotions, we're like, this is how I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life. Like this is the all-consuming. I hate my life. I gotta figure out a way to solve it. All of the things. But when it's happy, I'm like, okay, soak in it because it's gonna go away. Like, why can't I do that when I feel bad? Like just being like, okay, feel the feeling because and it's okay because it's gonna leave. No, of course that's not how it works. We're programmed for the negative because that's what helps us survive. I get all of that, but it's annoying. But it genuinely caught me off guard. Okay, because I feel like I'm never happy. And if I sit in, which is so sad to say that out loud, but like if I feel like it's too scary to like be in a place of peace, to be in a place of ease, that like there's got to be something going on that I need to fix or I need to like have a task to work on, like all of these things. Like I can't just sit in ease because that is not what I'm used to and that feels uncomfortable and it feels like the other shoe is going to drop and I don't love that. And I think the other thing with it is that like I wasn't trying to be happy. Like I think a lot of the time when I do feel happiness, it's because I'm intentionally putting in an effort to choose happiness. Literally have that tattooed on my goddamn shoulder that like I feel like I'm always intentionally trying to let it happen when in that moment, it was actually a really chaotic day. I had several interviews to do that day. I had to publish Monday's episode. I was working my 9 to 5 job. I had a lot going on. And despite the fact that I was really jam-packed with a bunch of things and like really on the move, which normally would send me into like an overwhelm, burnout, gotta just like sit here and do nothing and ignore all of the things that I need to do. It made me have that feeling of like, wait, I love this. I love my life. I love what I'm doing right now. Is my life good? And I think that kind of caught me off guard because I was like, wait, what's happening? Like I don't am I do did I am I doing something right? Like am I actually doing a good job? Like am I actually living a life that I like? Am I actually feeling happy with myself and proud of myself and proud of my life right now? What is going on? And I think it's weird because nothing huge changed externally. Like, it's not like I suddenly got a bunch of money or I'm living in a big house or I have millions of followers or anything like nuts happened in order for me to be like, okay, I've reached this destination and now I'm happy, which is what I'm always speculating about in my head that I'm not going to be happy until. And I just felt that way just because I was doing the things that I wanted to do, which is kind of my core realization. And I think I talked to you guys about this recently that I've been able to really zoom out on my life a lot more. That I feel like that is really what caused this to happen. And essentially, I made one core decision about the direction that I want it to go in my life, and I'm not floundering around that core decision anymore. Like I'm like, is that the right choice? I don't know. There's not a clear path. What if I can't get there? What if it never works out? What if I'm making a fool of myself? What if this isn't something that it makes sense because there's no direct path to it, and so I don't really understand how it works because it's not a corporate job, and I don't know how to work something that's not a corporate job, and people aren't telling me exactly what to do. Like, whoa, relax, big dog. Like it's too much going on up here. You know what I mean? But I've been able to like and zoom out and look at my life for actually what it is and see that I'm spending time with friends. I'm going out and doing things. I have a boyfriend now and spend time with him, and that's fun. I work on my podcast. I talk to you guys. I've been making videos and posting them on social media because I enjoy doing that. And if I feel scared about it because I feel scared about people's opinions of me, then you know what? What the fuck ever. It's making the decision that aligns with the identity that I want to be, and then allowing my lifestyle to coincide with that one decision, and letting that be the external validation that I need, that I don't need the external validation of people telling me that I'm doing good or I'm on the right path or that they like what I'm doing or like getting followers or gaining money or doing anything like that. I can just feel good because I'm following through on what I said I wanted to do. And it's fun for me, and I can enjoy that and allow that to be a part of my life that I like. And making that one choice and seeing that it's a long-term decision, but I can make short-term choices every single day that coincides with that long-term vision that I see for myself helps me not negotiate with myself every single day, several times a day, because it's like I'm constantly like trying to prove to myself that I'm doing the things. I'm trying to justify the things that I'm doing. I'm beating myself up for doing certain things. I'm calling myself names inside of my head. I'm putting opinions on me that I'm putting on me, but I'm like saying that it's from someone external and that I'm being cringe or that my things or what I'm posting isn't good enough, or that I'm being awkward in real life, or that I did something that somebody might not like, even though I had good intentions, and now I don't know, maybe they don't like me, maybe they're angry at me. And it's that constant back and forth that I think really is what fucks us up. Like, that's really what drives me personally nuts. Cause it's like you're constantly in a battle inside of your head with the version of you that you want to be and this old identity that continues to like hold you back because it's so afraid of getting hurt, of being judged, of the worst case scenario thing happening, because it's learned to protect you. So really, if we can see it that way and have a little bit of compassion for it and say like that demon thing that's going on in my mind is genuinely just trying to help me, but I don't need your help. I've got us under control. I'm going to protect us. I will keep us safe, and listening to the true identity and letting that true identity win, even when that other demon version is still there. Like that hasn't gone away, but it's whose advice you're actually taking. So it's really when I stopped going back and forth like that, and I've made this one decision to embody a certain identity, and then I have to take the actions that align with that identity, I'm like actually feeling good about my life, which sounds so like duh, but a lot of the time we don't do that. And I think that's what kind of sucks, is that I love talking to you guys about this because it makes me feel like, hey guys, like check it out. Like the things that I'm talking to you about are real and like they're genuinely helping me feel better. And like if you implement this too, it will help you. So like go back and listen to these episodes that we've recorded in the past and the interviews that we've done, because the things that we're learning like genuinely do make a difference in at least my day-to-day life. Just because it works for me though doesn't mean that it will work for you. You have to, mold it and shift it into what makes sense in your own mind so that you can feel that way too. But I think that's the biggest piece, is that a lot of self-improvement lies to us and says if you follow these steps then you'll feel this way also. And I just genuinely, I don't want to do that to you guys, because I almost feel like I don't know why it happened. Like I almost feel like I it just did. Like it just something changed inside of my mind. And obviously I credit all of the work that I'm putting in constantly to help myself. But at the same time, it's kind of when I stopped psychotically focusing on the improvement and zoomed out and said, like, I'm like, okay, like, let it play out. I want to just feel happy. I want to just enjoy my life, that I actually did. Like that but I had to go through the phase of like being hyper about learning about self-improvement and improving my emotional intelligence. And then I had to go through the phase of like not doing anything at all because I needed to just learn to relax and enjoy my life and experience things and not be so hyper focused. But then when I was in that period, I still wasn't happy because I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do in order to make my life feel good. Like I wasn't being disciplined or consistent or genuinely implementing the things that I wanted to implement in my life intentionally. And now I feel like I'm at the place that I can do both of those things. That like I can know the self-improvement tools, I can be emotionally intelligent, and I can live my life relaxed, but I can still do the things that I want to do from a disciplined perspective, but still like, but it's a relaxed perspective that I don't feel like the world's gonna fall apart and I'm a piece of shit if I don't do things exactly to a T perfectly every single day until the day that I die. But I obviously am not walking around from like a place of pure bliss. Like I am trying to do things that coincide with the one decision identity that I chose, and that's terrifying. And in this last interview that I just had, that you guys just heard on Wednesday with Melissa Nanavati, she talked about letting fear be your guide instead of allowing it to discourage you. And I've really, really, really been using that as a mantra in my head because there's so many things that come up in my life that make me feel fear. Like I am so prone to fear-based thinking that I cave to it constantly, and like way more than in my logical mind I would have liked to have admitted. But I genuinely do, because I like take a concept that I want, I feel fear for it, and then logically convince myself that that fear makes sense, like that it is something that I should listen to, and then I believe it. And that's the fucked up thing about your mind, is that and having that battle that I was talking about earlier, is that like it's all you. So like you can convince yourself so easily that things are true and things are not true, and it's confusing. So like that's why you have to make the one decision, and then regardless of what your feelings are about that decision, you have to make choices that align with that decision, and again let fear guide you compared to discourage you, because it's making you feel afraid because it's something that you want but it's out of your comfort zone. So instead of thinking of fear like, okay, this is something that I probably shouldn't do, something that, I just don't want it. Maybe it's just not in alignment with me. Like maybe it's making me uncomfortable because it makes me feel that kind of way. Instead, making the mentality, okay, I feel this fear, so that might be something that I actually should follow through on. That means that this is exactly what I should be doing. I think it was literally the second episode of Wellish that I talked about a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, that she talks about feeling fear and how fear is always there. She describes it as fear can be in the car, in the back seat, but it cannot drive the car. It can't hold the snacks. It can't control the radio. It can't hold the map, but it can be there. It can exist, but it cannot control what you're doing. And for whatever reason, that visual really resonated with me because it made it feel okay that I felt the fear, and it allowed the fear to be there compared to what I think a lot of us try to do is suppress it, make it go away, or expect it to one day not be there. And once it's not there, then I'll be able to take the action that I want to take. But instead, saying, like, it's going to be there and it's allowed to be there and it's okay that it's there, but it cannot control the decisions we make or the way that we live our life. Even though I literally just said fear is not allowed to hold the map, I do really like the mentality of letting fear guide you, though, because I think that it's an interesting thing to think about, that by avoiding fear, it keeps you stuck in your old identity, that you cannot progress into this new version of you if you're not willing to look at the things that freak you out and see that as a place where growth is required. Because you only feel fear because it's unfamiliar. You only feel fear because you don't know what to anticipate. You don't know if people will judge you, how they'll perceive you, if it's like a safe thing. So you feel scared. And so it's a place that you need to gain understanding and knowledge, therefore growth, in order to no longer feel that fear. And you feel the fear because you care about that thing that you're looking at, like you want it, or you feel triggered by it, or you are going after something that's really important to you. Like you don't feel fear about the things you don't care about. So the fear like highlights what matters to you, and then following that is allowing fear to guide you. Obviously, you still have to listen to your intuition. Like, we're not letting fear outweigh gut feelings that tell us that, like, somewhere isn't safe to go. Like, yeah, come to Afties at this sketchballs place, and you're like, that makes me feel scared. But, I've always wanted to experience Afties, so I'm going to let fear guide me and go into this weird apartment. No, obviously not. Follow your gut, follow your intuition still, but allow fear to guide you in the sense of asking yourself if it's something that matters to you. And the more that you do that, the more you'll feel bravery to do the things that you want to do, because you'll see that they matter to you. So that's where I'm at now, that I feel like I am really a lot more capable of zooming out and seeing my life as a big picture compared to only pinpointing all of the things that I don't like about it. So focusing on what I want, not what I don't want. And that has allowed me to almost romanticize my life, like that I like walk around and feel good about what I'm doing and where I'm going and how I'm spending my day, and seeing beauty in the world and all of these things. Like I was on the train yesterday, and which is another thing that I think is cool, that I get to take the train to work. Like I can picture little childhood me, like that was something I always thought was so cool, and now I get to do it twice a week. And I was sitting on the train yesterday and I was listening to music, and I normally don't listen to music on the train because I'm normally reading my book on the train. And so I was listening to music, and I like leaned my head against the window, and like the train was driving past a bunch of things very quickly. And it was like, when it's raining outside and you lean your head against the car window and it's raining, and you just are like feeling like you're in a music video. It was one of those moments. And I was like, see, so cool. Like I feel good about my life. It's so cool. I just feel like very present. Like I'm not like waiting for something to happen. Like I can genuinely just like soak up and enjoy every moment and trust myself to get me to where I want to go. Because I think the overarching thing that I would think of constantly is that like I don't want to be 80 and look back on my life and think I fucked it up. But like, the more I spend time by myself, and the more I get to know myself, and the more I befriend myself, the more I realize that like I won't let that happen. I will not let that happen to me. Like I, for the love of God, will I am like painfully self-aware. Like all of the psychotic rigid shit that I do to like make sure that I live a good life, you think I'm going to let that happen to me? Absolutely the fuck not. I'll make it happen if it kills me, like like she's psychotic. But like that's kind of that's I mean also part of it too. Like I feel like I've been being less rigid. Like that I'm just like, letting life flow, and if you think about what your life will feel like, that's more important than what your life looks like. Because if your life feels good, it doesn't really matter like the events of what happened. You don't even like remember shit. You know what I mean? You remember how you made yourself feel. Really, all of this has just made me realize that happiness didn't come from me trying to fix everything constantly. It came from making one decision about who I am and how I want to live my life, and backing it, like having my own back about that thing, even to myself, no matter what. So, like, maybe happiness isn't something you find, but it's something that you decide and support. Okay, that's it for today's episode. I'm off work early today, so that makes me super happy. It's only 2 o'clock, but unfortunately, I can't go and live my frolicky free life because I have to clean my apartment. I've let my dishes pile up so high that I have got to do something about it. And I just like, I'd really rather not clean my house, but I'm going to take care of it because I told myself that I wanted to, take care of my space. So I'm just going to get it out of the way and then, spend the rest of my night living my frolicky free night because I've got no plans this whole weekend and I'm so excited. So I hope you guys have an incredible weekend. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you have fun doing that. I hope you eat some good food and it's a miracle. We finally made it to the weekend. I love you the most and I will talk to you guys again on Monday. Bye.